When establishing files, staff members are given specific authority to access certain work papers and undertake certain procedures. If you find that a staff member is unable to access a file, a specific section, or perform a particular function, this is likely because the staff member has not been added to the engagement team for that file, or has not been granted authority to perform this function or access the particular document. Before allocating staff members to the engagement files, the firm must first add each staff member to its staff list and determine the various roles and permissions that can be assigned to each staff member. The objective of this video is to demonstrate how to add a staff member to the firm's staff user list at the firm level, how to assign roles and authority to each staff member, and how to assign a staff member to a particular engagement at the file level. From the dashboard's drop-down menu, select User Access. You will be met with all user types available within the application: staff users, client users, administrators, and read-only users. In this video, we will be focusing primarily on staff users. It is in this section that we can create, suspend, or delete staff members. Click on the New Staff button in the top right of the page to create a new staff member. Select a role and complete the other fields as required. My Workpapers automatically creates default role permissions. You'll notice that after a role has been selected to the right of your screen, you can see a default role permission list for that particular role. By clicking on the arrows next to each item, you can see the permissions allocated to the newly created staff member. For instance, you can see that the permissions given to the engagement partner differ to those given to an intermediate. Permissions cannot be amended from this page, but we will show you how to do this shortly. When satisfied, select the Create New Staff button at the bottom of the page and determine whether to notify the staff member of their activation status via email and/or send them a message in the space provided. From the Staff Users tab from within User Access, you can also suspend or delete staff. Simply select the particular staff member and choose the required action. The next step is to assign permissions to each staff role. As previously mentioned, My Workpapers automatically does this for the firm in its default options. To view the permissions given to each role, click on the dashboard drop-down in the top left of your screen and select Roles and Permissions. Where a tick appears in a particular box, it indicates that this particular role has permission to perform the specified task. For a brief summary of what each task entails, the user can hover over the task and the message box will appear. If the firm wishes to edit the permissions given to a particular role, click the Edit tab in the top left of the page and tick or untick the box which corresponds to the applicable task. To add staff at the engagement level, the firm should follow these steps. When on the firm's homepage, click on the My Files tab, search and select the particular engagement file. When in the file details, select the engagement team drop-down option. Here you'll see a list of staff already assigned to the engagement. To add staff, click on the drop-down arrow next to a staff member's name and click on the applicable staff member. If a particular staff member is not listed in the drop-down menu, you'll need to add the staff member at the firm level by going to Dashboard and repeating the steps previously mentioned. Once the particular staff member has been added to the engagement team, he or she will then be able to perform the functions and access the documents based on the level of authority given to them, which we discussed previously in this video. The firm also has the ability to edit permissions at the file level for a particular engagement. Note that any editing performed at the file level will only apply to that particular engagement. If the firm wishes to edit the permissions for a particular staff member which should also apply to future files, the firm would need to do so at the firm level as shown previously in this video. To edit permissions at the engagement level, when on the File Details tab, the user should click on Engagement Team Permissions, click on the Edit tab, and edit the engagement team permissions to suit. Remember, any editing performed here at the file level will only apply to that particular engagement.